Spirituality is a natural function, a state of reconnection with the self, with our essence. In order to find it and develop it, we must take a fresh look on who we are, our lives, and focus on the essence. To achieve our goal, we must pay attention to our sensations, emotions, and thoughts. Specifically, to encourage the positive ones, those that lift us, and to change the negative ones, those that gets us down. In other words, to learn to control them. If not controlled, the ego is trying to seize power and cut our connection with the self, to divide us. Spiritual development means to choose to pay attention to the essence. A re-education process is possible only if we use our qualities and take attitude. This includes 6 spiritual awakening stages. Number 1. Authenticity and integrity. By paying attention to our own sensations and feelings, we get the big picture objectively. A candid look, devoid of complacency, lies at the foundation of the inner edifice that we project. Being honest with oneself implies sincerity, humility, and simplicity. An honest look within must be reflected in the way we express ourselves, act and behave. Thus, the basic qualities come to light: authenticity and integrity. Number 2. Determination and patience. The display of authenticity encounters fundamental fears, fear of loss, unknown, etc., which are manifested in different forms. Resistance, anxiety, denial, all tempt us to question and revise our beliefs. We feel that we are alone, isolated from the world, without protection, a very uncomfortable sensation. It takes determination, perseverance, and courage to go on. One might say it takes will as well, if the term itself wouldn't be misunderstood. Will doesn't imply getting at any cost what you have imagined in terms of beliefs and emotions. It means making clear choices and follow them through. It means deciding to relinquish control and surrender to the essence. This also requires patience and confidence, because changes are determined by the intelligence of the body and heart, by the pace of what we have to heal and integrate, not by the impulsive desires of our personality. Number 3. Refusing critics and accusations. Spiritual evolution begins the moment we cease to accuse others for our troubles because we understand that they are the reflection of our own wounds. Spiritual attitude begins when we stop waiting for the others to satisfy our need for love and attention, and we understand that we can be masters of our own lives when we relinquish control and connect to our inner being. Bonus: expanded consciousness will enable us to see injured and clumsy beings in others, but also their bright side. When you feel bullied or stripped by another person, emotions are overwhelming. The experience itself is very interesting because it allows you to see your sensitive sides exactly, thus learning more about yourself. Usually, you discover an old wound, a lack of affection, a reaction to rejection, etc. In other words, even if aggression is real, it is interesting to understand the message behind it, which you need to take into consideration. The situations we face are a reaction to something within ourselves, a manifestation of our inner being. Number 4. Consciousness and responsibility. Working on developing these qualities, we develop and refine our self-consciousness. Being more aware of what is going on within ourselves and everything around us becomes a path to spiritual evolution. It's like stepping back to see the big picture and distinguish the real forces behind appearances, behind the games of life. Consciousness is the key to our evolution. A sharp mind helps us understand that we are responsible for our lives. This is another important step towards spiritual growth. Number 5. A lucid and tender view. Becoming a lucid observer of our own being and facing the lights and shadows doesn't mean to keep a record of our flaws and imperfections and to feel guilty. In connection with his inner being, the observer acts as a caring parent to the child's development, combining kindness and tenderness with rigor. Effusing upon yourself all the kindness and compassion is an excellent way of healing the soul and open to the self. Number 6. Laugh at yourself. A tender look on ourselves is proof that we can step back and see ourselves as a different person. In other words, it is a posture in which we can laugh at ourselves and everything else, because we identify all the games that underpin our actions and attitudes: fear, power, seduction, etc. When we take ourselves too seriously, we are dominated by a certain rigidity of the mind, which wants to make us believe that we are somebody, in which case there is no honesty, nor simplicity. Note, this laughter is accompanied by a tender, loving look upon us and others. Spiritual evolution is based on the recognition of our inner forces and how they work. It is a quasi-biological and neurological recognition of our forces and sensations. It translates as an exchange of vitality and energy. Thank you for watching.